I would answer a question I often get asked about implementing SmartRed. So once you have signed off the project and you're happy to work with us, the first stage of implementation is a scoping meeting. Now, a scoping meeting, it usually takes place over Teams or Zoom, and it takes roughly a couple of hours. From our end, we would have our technical director, the head of development, and usually our design team sit in on part of it as well, and you would have me as your account manager. From your end, we would have your project lead, potentially somebody from commercial or sales, potentially somebody from your admin team and your customer services team. What we're discussing at the implementation, at the scoping stage, is how we're going to implement everything, what integrations we need to do, and dependent upon the core functionality that we agree at that stage, a more definitive time frame for each of those elements to happen. What then happens is we start the design and development process. So when we talk about SmartRed, there is a base platform that sits there, and probably about 80% of the functionality that you need already exists, and we'll start to build that. But the design and development is that extra 20% that we will build based upon the scoping meeting directly for you. That usually takes about 4 to 6 weeks, dependent upon the functionality required. What then happens is we upload that platform to a test environment. That test environment we share with you, and you and any internal colleagues can test every element of the platform, and you want to try and replicate as many user journeys as possible, collect feedback, and then feed that back to us. Over that testing period, we will refine any elements, and you will continue to test. And there is no end time. We usually say, again, about 4 to 6 weeks for the full testing phase is appropriate. But it can be a lot shorter or a lot longer. When you're happy for go live, we'll put the live version of the site and allow your customers to do some orders. That live launch can be phased, so the typical phases will be 1 client orders, and that is usually the first element that we do, but the second element can be connecting up with your order, your stock systems, your ERP systems, whatever they may be. Now, they can be done at the same time, or they can be done months apart, again dependent upon the complexity of the integration, and then there might be additional development or optional functionality that is nice to have, and that's prioritised for a few months down the line. We'll agree this all at scoping stage and define that. And then what happens after that is I, as your account manager, would set up usually quarterly meetings with you, usually on Zoom or Teams, just to follow up to make sure the system is working well, you're understanding the full functionality, and you're getting a return on the investment that you've made. So that's the typical implementation process, the typical time frame of which is about 3 months. Have we done it a lot shorter? Absolutely. Has it taken a lot longer? Absolutely. If you've got any questions about how specifically we would do it for you, the timeframes, what's involved, then drop a message in the comments or send me an email, and I would be delighted to answer them.